And today we're going to be interviewing with
Abner.
Hey, that's what's up. And today, where are we? Where are we sitting right now?
We are at Tacos Don Chentes, well, Tacos and Beer Don Chentes here in Bell Gardens, a restaurant owned by yours truly.
Yeah.
In the city of Bell Gardens. So I'm really, first of all, thank you for coming down to my restaurant. Thank you for, this interview, and really appreciate the support.
Oh, of course. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being who you are and showing up in the ring and entertaining me, man.
That's what I do. Thank you.
Of course. And how did this all start about? From boxer to restaurant owner. What's that life like?
You know what? It's a really funny story because honestly, I never saw myself owning a restaurant. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's not my thing. You know what I'm saying? Like boxer, restaurant, I just never. And I've seen and I've heard about people opening up their restaurants and not doing so well. It's like people would tell me it's a bad investment. But it just happened on a trip. We took a trip. Vicente, who was my business partner, we took a trip to Guadalajara. The trip initiated because I wanted to do my own tequila bottle.
Oh.
So we're in Guadalajara, which I am working on that as well.
Oh.
And I got my own beer as well. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But we're in Guadalajara. We're talking about making my own tequila bottle, and then we were about to close that deal, and it's like, you know what, think about that. We go back to a restaurant, we're drinking 1 beer, 2 beers, and then we a little tipsy, Vicente and myself, and then he goes, let me tell you a little bit about Vicente. Vicente owns a franchise of El Pescador and Don Chente restaurant, so he's been in the business for years.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, wait, ¿no te gustaría meterte a un restaurante conmigo? As a business partner.
Yeah.
I'm like, not really. It's not my thing. What would I do? Bro, you got the name, you got the following. Let's do it.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, and it was right. When the pandemic was kind of fading out. Thank God everything's back to normal. A little bit back to normal. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. So here we are, a month and a half into my business already.
Yes.
It's picking up little by little, thank God. People have been showing support, so yeah, that's how it started.
A little story behind that. And speaking about your beer, you guys should check out his menu. He actually has specialized menus towards his beer and a special menu. Share about that, what your Mars special is.
So I got the Mars special, which is basically a combo. You go into a restaurant, you're like, I don't know what to get, this, that. So I wanted to combine my favorites in one combo. So you got obviously the birria taco, you got the mulita, you got a vampiro, and you got the consommé. Consommé is obviously that goes with the birria taco. So basically you got it all. You got 4 different type of items in one combo. You can't go wrong with that. And people that have come to a restaurant and order for the Mares combo, they're delighted. They go home happy because honestly, not just because it's my restaurant, but the food is really good here.
You got it all, man. You have to check out that special. And as a boxer and an athlete, what have you taken from boxing the sport and instilled it into your life? How has it taught you life lessons?
Exactly what I just tried to explain, and that's a good question. That life is a battle, life is a fight. Inside and out. Once you leave that ring, you're fighting other things. You're fighting, it could be addictions, you could be fighting family, you could be fighting problems, you could be fighting, abuse, social media, haters, nowadays, I'm sorry to use the word, but it is exactly that. People are so sensitive nowadays, so easy to get to their heads, you know?
Yeah.
People talk bad about you on the gram, and all of a sudden, like, oh my God, and my world is done, I'm over, like, they're talking crap about me, like, nah, man, like, you know, you gotta fight through it. So that's what it taught me outside of the ring is, you know, be a fighter, always be a champion. Belt, no belt, you're a champion in your family, and always keep that positive, you know, mentality. So that's what it's taught me.
As a man and as a boxer, what are some big sacrifices that you had to make for your career, and what are some big achievements that you remember to this day?
And it's a good thing you asked that, because just yesterday my oldest turned 15. My oldest daughter turned 15 years old, and one thing that she still till this day tells it to my face, like, Dad, you weren't there when I was born. And I wasn't, because I was out in the training camp in Puerto Rico. I still remember I was with Oscar De La Hoya. He was getting ready for his fight with Mayorga, and I was out there, and I wasn't there for my daughter's birth. I was gone for like a couple of months. I didn't get back until like a month and a half later, and my daughter was already born. So I didn't meet my daughter until like a month later. And she tells me, like, Dad, you weren't there, like, you know, but I make her understand why I was doing what I was doing, you know, to give you a better life, this and that. So that's one thing I regret. Other than that, there's no regrets. Everything that's happened through my life, you know, it's for a purpose. And biggest achievement, you said? Honestly, it's not so much the titles. At first it was like, oh yes, I became world champion, my dream, became champion again 4 times. But then it became more than that. I wanted to be a visionary. I wanted to be someone that people could look at and be like, yo, I could be that guy, you know? Hey, everything's possible, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of fighters say that, and it's just mouth, but nah, honestly, I want to be a proven, living example that anything is possible. Like, you know, I come from nothing, like literally, you know what I'm saying? Like, I used to eat out of the trash cans. Like, you know, I've told this a few times that people probably don't know this, but you know, my family, like, you know, we come from Mexico. We immigrated to this country. I was 7 years old at the time, and my mom didn't have no money at the time, no job, and 7 of us at the time, 7 kids. So my mom would take us to the food Walmarts, you know, at like around 3, 4 in the morning, behind the dumpsters, and everything that would throw away, it was like a day expired or they were about to expire, and we were those kids picking that up and taking it home. So imagine going through that, you know, torn up shirts, you know, like just, you know, a poor individual, you know what I'm saying? But to me, it was more than that. It was just family, you know. My family kept me rich, you know, the love and all that. So coming through that, becoming a world champion, successful, and I want to say it, and I say it with pride, a successful individual, because not only do I own my restaurant, I own my beer. I work for Showtime, you know. I got other things going for me. And I'm a kid that did not graduate high school. I dropped out in 10th grade. So for that, like, to me, it's like a big accomplishment, and that's an example I want to send. I know there's millions and billions of examples out there, but you know, I'm a Latino example that anything is possible if you put your mind to it.
Yeah, so speaking about education, how do you feel about that when people, like, I'm going to be turning 18 soon, your brother's going to be turning 18 soon, we're going to be thrown into the world. How do you feel about that whole saying when people are always like, you need to go to college, you need to get this career, you need to graduate, you need to do all of this? What would you say to those people?
Listen, that's a little bit tricky right there.
Yeah.
Complicated conversation or topic, because I don't want to send the bad advice or the, you know, not the good one. But
do you think it's necessary?
It's not necessary, but school is necessary. To be educated is necessary. Period. To be educated is necessary. Because you are gonna need it throughout your whole life, you know. But the whole pursuing a like, okay, you gotta go to school, well, yeah, finish high school and then college. Like, if you know you're gonna do that, you know, like, okay, I'm gonna put my butt in school because I want this career. Well, go for it, of course. But if you're like undecided, this and that, Like, no, there's so many platforms nowadays. Like, you know, it's nowadays. I always like right now. I'm saying like it's not easy, but it's a lot easier to do something. You know what I'm saying? Like now you see these people, TikTokers. You know, it's funny. I'm gonna mention this. I have a 9-year-old also who's gonna be 10 soon. And I asked her, like, baby, what do you want to do? What do you want to be when you grow up? She's like, I want to be a TikToker. I'm like, you know, I was mind blown. Like, really? Like, you don't want to be a nurse? You don't want to be? No, I want to be a TikToker because you know people are making money off that.
Heavily
so now it's like a different, you know, it's a different ventures, different things that you can do with your life. So it's a little complicated on that. I do want to encourage people to be educated, to do finish school. But as far as like the career and all that, like, you know, everybody chooses what they want to be at the end of the day.
And any last messages to first the youth?
The youth, well, yeah, man, be respectful. That's one thing. That's one thing key I want to teach the youngsters nowadays. Not just because you're doing good in life or not just because you live a good life or period, you know. Something that has been lost in life right now is being respectful. You know, I don't see the hello, how you doing, excuse me, the manners. People have lost their manners nowadays. They're so disrespectful, and I'm sorry, it is true. You know, and all races. I'm not sure. All races, like, be more respectful towards your elders. Be respectful to your parents.
Yeah.
Be respectful, and everything else, you know, is gonna fall into place. So that's my message.
Awesome. And then last message to hustlers.
Hustlers, oh man, chase your dream. Never stop. Never think that, you know, life is over. You can't. Like, I have bad days in the restaurant sometimes. Sometimes two people, 2, 3 tacos sell. Does not discourage me. I know that it's gonna pick up sooner or later. You know, just work. Today I had a great, before this interview, I had a good sit down with someone. We're working on great projects. So never give up on your dream. Never give up on what you believe in, and don't think and don't try to do things to prove people wrong. Because people get stuck on that, like, oh, I'm gonna do this to prove them. No, do it because you know you're gonna do well at it. Forget about everybody else. That's bad energy, and focus on you.
Awesome. Whoa. Learned a little bit of everything today speaking to this man. Now, your ads and socials for one, this awesome restaurant that you guys need to try out. I'm about to try their food and give you a review on that. I'm hoping it to be delicious. I think it is. It looks delicious. And then share your ads and socials for your personal.
Appreciate you. Follow me at Abner on IG, at Abner Twitter. Don't have a Facebook. That's all my accounts. So support the Don Chantes Tacos and Beer, City of Bell Gardens, the Mates Beer, and thank you for this great interview.
Thank you for letting us interview. Just thank you for everything you had to say. It was a very good lesson, like something you would never learn in school.
Thank you.
That's why I love doing this. You heard it here, folks. We're here at Abner, closing it out at his restaurant, about to try his food. Support each other, be kind, and keep hustling.